All right, guys, we've done word choice and descriptive. Today we are going to start in on sequential. That is a really big word to mean that we're talking about things that go in order. Sequential is on page 44. Oh, let's make sure that it focuses. Autofocus. There we go. All right, once you get this written down in your table of contents of your reading notebook, go ahead and flip to the next blank page. It should come right after the word descriptive. That is not our descriptive. There's our text structure descriptive. Today I'm going to do text structure sequential. I'm going to actually see if I can't move this a little closer. I'm not stretching quite so far over. Text, oh, sorry. I just realized that's way out of your viewing range. All right, text structure sequential. Text structure that is sequenced in order. So first, second, next, then last. And when we're talking about text structure sequential, we are talking about the fact that it presents information in the order in which it happens. This is the definition for sequential text structure. This is our second official text structure version. So the first one we had was descriptive, where we're describing all kinds of things. This one, sequential, is where it's like this happened, then this happened. First I got up, then I brushed my teeth. Next I got dressed, then I drove to work. This is the order in which things happen when I wake up in the morning. When we're talking about our text structure sequential, we do have some specific keywords that you're going to look for. So if you hadn't figured it out yet from my example, first, next, then, last, and you guys use a lot of these when you're writing your informational text. You put it first, next, then, last. This is what happened first. This is what happened after that. You can also find words like before or after. Later, I found my missing shoes. You could also have words like following. Following the missing shoe incident, I never again left my shoes out for my dogs to chew on. Following soon is a key word. This one's another one. After a few years, my dog stopped chewing on shoes. Actually, I'm just kidding. They've never chewed on my shoes, so that's really good. All right, so when we have our sequential text structure, they are going in order. We have a couple of different words that we can look for. These are not all of the words that you're going to look for. There is like a big long list of words to look for, so just keep in mind that these are a few examples. These are not the only words that are going to tell us order. And then after that, we're going to look at our graphic organizer. All right, so in our graphic organizer, we're going to use examples from the Wolf Island book. And we are going to have two sets of 3 boxes. So don't draw your boxes too long like I just did, or you will not have enough room for them. In fact, if you want to turn your page sideways and do it this way, that might work a little bit better. But I am committed, so I'm going to stick her out this way. I'm just going to bring my second set of 3 boxes a little further over here. Oh, that second set looks much better. All right. So when we're talking about, say, Wolf Island, there were a couple of different things that happened in Wolf Island, and that happened in order. So I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys. Hopefully you've read it. If you haven't, don't worry, your teacher will be reading it soon. But as we're going through, we have on an early spring day. This right here, an early spring day, spring is earlier in the year. I know that this is one of the first things to happen. One of these wolves decides to leave his family and make his way to another island to begin a new life. This is my first, very, very first piece of sequential text structure. It's the first thing that happens. So on in, and my key word that I found, early spring day, a wolf leaves his family. Now, that can't be the only thing that happens. And you're right, that's not the only thing that happens. After the wolf leaves his family, we go on and we have another page to read, and then we find out that this particular lone wolf swam from his home to a neighboring island. So he left his family. What did he do next? He swam to a neighboring island, and that's going to be our second box, our second piece of sequential. Neighboring island. And if you notice, there's not really any text messages in there in this second box. So, text messages. Oh, it's been a long day. Okay, there's not really any keywords in this box that tell us that it's the next event. However, I used my brain, and the first thing that he did was left his family. And what did he do next? He swam to that neighboring island. And what happened after that? We have one more thing. Sorry, let me get my book ordered here. So we have him leave swim to the island. Life was good. That's over here on this page that you can't see. Life was good. He's sitting there howling and just living the life but he was a little lonely. And then the next thing that we have that happens is he's starting to survive on that island. And this is one of those things. Remember, we talked about this as word choice. We could have also used this as descriptive, but it's also sequential because the next thing he did at the end of April, because we're still in April here, is that he starts eating these herring eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into my third box. He ate herring eggs. So we've got this wolf who swam to his neighboring island. He started surviving. He ate some herring eggs. He ate this. He ate that. But all through the text, they keep talking about how lonely he is and how much he wants to have a family of his own. So this second sequence of events that we're going to talk about right here is going to be starting on this page right here. Says, then, right in the middle of fishing season, something wonderful happened. For the first time since the wolf arrived on the island, he sensed that another wolf was nearby. Maybe it was the wolf he was waiting for, the wolf who would become his mate. So we're in the middle, and that is a good clue. And then for the first time in forever. Just kidding. So for the first time since the wolf arrived, he sensed that another wolf was nearby. And that first is another key word. So we're going to go ahead and write that down in our box down here at the bottom. I'm going to move this guy up just a little bit so you guys can see a little better. All right. For the, and then my keyword is first. Time he sensed another wolf was nearby. All right, so what happened after he sensed the wolf nearby? Did he just, okay, whatever, it's all good. We're living in the same land. No. It says he was right. A female had arrived on the island. Maybe it's the lady wolf that he's been waiting for. Maybe it's his mate. She, like the male wolf, had struck out on her own because she wanted to start her own family. She hoped there would be a male wolf on the island who would become her mate. She missed the family she had left behind, but she was also eager to explore her new home. So he was right. A female had arrived on the island. This is what happened next. He sensed a new wolf. Who could it possibly be? It's a female. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. A female wolf had arrived on the island. All right, so he sensed a new wolf. There's a female wolf who arrived on the island. And last but not least, what happens? The very, very end of this section. So he found the female wolf arrived on the island. Meanwhile, that's another good keyword for time for sequencing. The male wolf was feeling more satisfied than ever. And then here we go on our next page. This is what's going to happen. It took a while for the wolf to get from one end of the island to the other, and every so often he stopped to sniff at the sand or tree trunk to catch the scent of the other wolf. And the female wolf also sensed there was another wolf on the island. So they're both looking for each other. So maybe the ravens would help her to find him, since they often point island wolves to food. So between these two paragraphs, I know that the two wolves are looking for each other and that it took a while for the wolf to get from one end to the other. So I'm going to use that keyword right there. That tells me that it's the next in the sequence. It took a while to find each other. And that is the end of our sequence. They found each other and they lived happily ever after. All right, as always, you need to make sure that you are pausing this if you need to go back and finish writing any of these notes down. Make sure you are ready to discuss these, and there should be a copy of these notes in your virtual notebook, virtual reading notebook, so that you can finish writing these down if you can't see them on our beautiful video.